So, dear brothers and sisters, today I went to visit some friends of mine from school. So we finished school, we did our leaving cert. Father's Day, I was already told the whole world what my age is. So I did my leaving cert in 1997, so quite some time back. And so we're a bunch of school friends. We keep in touch. We're all lads, so we keep in touch twice a year. But they're all obviously young fathers now. All three of them have their own kids. Some of them are just starting into secondary school. So I must say I really do enjoy meeting up with them. We've all moved on, and that's okay. Like, we don't talk about the same kind of things that we used to talk about at school. Obviously, we've all grown up, thankfully. But it's just great because I see, like, they're good men trying to live in a fairly crazy world and trying to kind of navigate their way through it with their kids. You know, what kind of education to provide, how much screen time, how little screen time, because they still have to live in the world and be able to cope with the things of the world, but not be swallowed by the world. So they're good men. They're doing their best. It was very interesting because, again, we're shoving on a little, I suppose. So the idea was that we would meet and go for a cycle on the Greenway. So we met in Dungarvan and we cycled out to little past Kilmacthomas, out to the coachyard in there, and on the way out, the wind was at our backs, and I think we might have pedalled once or twice. You know what I mean? It was just not pedaling your road for 6 days, like, because it was just the wind was behind us. We were just being carried the whole way, chatting away, all good. That wasn't the case when we were coming back. Oh, bless us and save us. We had the wind in our faces, and there was just head down, constant pedaling as you're getting pushed back by the wind. When we got to Dungarvan, we had a cup of coffee, and I say it was probably the best cup of coffee I've had in my entire life. I was frozen, I was tired, and it was just, you swallow it and then just the warmth just goes down and poof, just gently diffuses itself through your body. Fantastic. Great. There was that. Then they said, right, we have, one of them had booked a sauna. Right, I'm not big into saunas, but it's kind of, if you've ever seen a Wanderley Wagon, if Wanderley Wagon was a sauna, that's what this is. So it's a portable sauna down in the car park in Clonea Strand. So you pull into the car park and there's a sauna. So we had booked in for 4:00. So the boy said, no, we're going to run into the sea first. And I said, work away. So they ran into the sea. I met them in the sauna, and you're sitting there and you're just trying to have the chats as you're dripping sweat. You're just absolutely dripping. I was in there for about 20 minutes and I said, okay, I can't do it anymore. I have to go out into the sea. So I ran out, and you're actually so hot. You're so roasting coming out of the sauna that even though when you come outside and you're just in your shorts, and it's, 8 degrees outside, blasting an ocean wind in your face, you're like, I don't even feel the cold. And like, you're lathered in your own sweat. Like. So jogged on down to the strand, jumped into the water, then I felt the cold, holy moly, and then back up and into the sauna. And then when you come into the sauna, it's like glorious, just 70 degrees it was, 70 degrees in the sauna. After which we had quite the appetite. And we went to a restaurant and had chicken wings, ribs, and then a massive burgery type thing with Cajun fries and the whole lot. Now, there is a reason why I'm saying all of this. Okay, why? This was a day of extremes, right? Where from kind of, tiredness to the joy of a coffee, from hunger to the joy of a big meal, from a roasting sauna to the freezing ocean. But the thing is, it's the extremes, it's those opposites that make us appreciate one or other of the things. We wouldn't have appreciated the coffee if we weren't frozen. We wouldn't have appreciated the food if we weren't hungry. Wouldn't have appreciated the heat if we weren't frozen. Wouldn't have appreciated the cold ocean if we hadn't been half baked in a sauna. But it's these extremes that actually make us appreciate, right, things. So what happens if we don't have these kind of extremes? Say, for example, in today's world where people can live like in an almost constant state of entertainment. Remember before, like, you had to wait for a program to come on. You had to wait a whole week for the next episode of Dallas. Hands up. Ye shameful lot, right? You have to wait a whole week to find out who shot JR. Find out. So it was a big thing. You had to wait every week for your shows, or wait for the evening for your show. Whereas now it's just watch it online or just watch the whole box set. We don't have to wait anymore. So there's much less of an appreciation. Or just take out your phone, just entertain yourself with 100 videos of your choice on the topic of your choice. So there isn't any more this kind of sense of waiting for something and then the joy of getting it. And then when you get it, because you've waited, you appreciate it. You take care of it. It means something to you. Whereas if I keep getting what I want all the time, rather than it making me happy, it actually makes me spoiled, like a spoiled child. Are spoiled children happy? Well, no. But they get exactly what they want all the time, so why aren't they happy? Because there's something deeper. If I have to wait, what is required? 2 virtues. Perseverance is what I want to talk about. It's today's reading. Okay, now you see the link. Okay, all clear? Perseverance. Perseverance. If you don't persevere through the difficult times, the cold times, the hunger, the heat, you don't appreciate the satisfaction of the solution to that problem. You don't appreciate the satisfaction of a hot meal, of a cold ocean, of a hot sauna, if we don't persevere. So as soon as we come across some sort of a difficulty in our spiritual lives, I find it difficult to pray. I'll stop, sure. Rather than saying, I find it difficult to pray. But if I push on through, when this season passes, and it will, and then I'm able to, hear the Lord, see the Lord, experience the Lord again, I'll have a much greater appreciation of that, and I'll have come through the storm. Now I appreciate what I have. I appreciate this ability to pray. It's like, how do you fill a church in Ireland with people, with faithful? Tell them they can't go to Mass. Forbid them, make it illegal to go to Mass. You fill all the churches tomorrow. Just tell us we can't do it, and then that's what will drive us to do it. Because then, hang on, we might appreciate it then. They're taking this from us. So now we'll fight for it, because this might be taken from us. So it's kind of extremes, rather than being occasions to just say, I can't do this anymore, and give up. This is where we grow, but it requires patience and perseverance. Patience and perseverance. We can boast of our sufferings. These sufferings bring patience, as we know. And patience brings perseverance. And perseverance brings hope. And this hope is not deceptive, because the love of God has been poured into our hearts by the Holy Spirit who has been given us. Romans 5. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful summary of our lives. Right? These struggles, these difficulties, these challenges that try to take away our hope. We fall, we see our own weakness, we see our own addiction, we see our own sin, and we say, that's it, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I can resist anything except temptation. I can resist anything except, these challenges are too much for me. So why try? Why try? Why try and stay faithful to my wife? Why try and stay off the drink? Why try and curb my screen time? Why try and pray? It's all just too hard. Just follow your passions. Be who you want to be. Be free. And the consequences of that are misery. And maybe even the loss of your own soul. Incredible. Quite incredible, like how easily we fall for this. But it's these moments of difficulty, maybe even darkness, that make us appreciate the light. It's these moments of hunger that make us appreciate a full belly. It's these moments of cold that make us appreciate a stove. But in between those moments is patience and perseverance. And if we drop them, then we don't get to experience that joy of having this desire fulfilled, and maybe even greater than we expected. And maybe that's also a summary of our whole lives, where we live lives knowing that there's just something missing. And no matter what we achieve here, there's always a little something that's just disquiet, just like a little kind of a sense of emptiness. And often this can strike us in what's known as like the midlife crisis, or also when we retire and we've done all that we were supposed to do, and now we're retired. Is this it? Is this it? Like after giving 40 years to teaching or the office or wherever I was, and now I'm just living off the pension, and is this it? It can be a real shocking moment for people. Saddening, maybe even depressing. So what, the summary of our lives, these moments, or the summary of our life, these moments of struggle, difficulty, challenge, which are ultimately fulfilled in heaven. And in between the struggle and the fulfillment, what do we find in here? Patience and perseverance. Patience and perseverance. So our lives will be characterized and colored by adversity, by not knowing, by lack of understanding, by challenges. There'll be beauty in there as well, don't worry. There'll be moments of plenty of joy and pizzas and good fun with friends, thank God for it all. But there will be the challenges as well. But they only serve to highlight the beauty of God's grace and the satisfaction of those holy desires in a holy fashion, in a holy way. So we ask the Lord today to help us with these two virtues, and they are challenging, patience and perseverance. That they're not easy. They're not easy, especially if there's no one encouraging you. Especially if there's no one saying, you can do this. I'm on your side. I'm rooting for you. Very, very easy to give up then. We're not alone. We're not alone. So may the Lord deepen within us our patience and our perseverance, that we may discover in Him the fulfillment of every desire. Amen.